So we have discussed about the problem that we can face in a unconditional branch instruction, that is the branch penalty. Now our goal as a designer, our goal will be to somehow minimize or somehow remove this branch penalty as much as possible. Now one thing from the previous example, you can say that instead of calculating the branch target address within this execution stage, if I am able to do it in earlier stages, then I can, I can actually remove the branch penalty a little bit. For example, in this particular example, I have considered that we are realizing an instruction as a branch instruction on the decode stage, and then we are calculating the branch target address on the execution stage. Now, if I assume that branch target is calculated not in execution stage but in the decode stage itself, I mean, suppose that I am designing a new form of pipelining where the decode stage can realize as well as uh, uh, can calculate the branch target address. Then what will happen? Let's see. So let's take consider the same scenario. Um, we uh, we have some set of instructions like I1, I2, I3, uh, maybe IK. Okay, suppose I4 is there and IK, then IK plus 1, like this. And what we have seen, that same situation we are considering, that this is our branch instruction and this is our branch target. Now the clock cycles I will draw like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, like this. Now see, if we continue with the same situation, that I2 is the branch instruction and IK is the branch target, and I1 don't have any issue in this pipelining, right? So it will continuously do in the same way, fetch, and uh, after fetching, when it will start decoded, this fetching of instruction 2 started, right? Fine. Then execution of instruction 1 started and decode of instruction 2 started. Now you see, we know that I2 is the branch instruction, and in this particular case we have assumed that we have kept the decoder stage very intelligent, so that decoder stage can realize that this I2 is a branch instruction as well as it can calculate the branch target address. That means execution of I2 is no more required in this case, right? That means when decoding is running, at that time definitely there is no way you cannot restrict I3 to start fetching. So I3 will start fetching. But after this decoding completes, what you have idea, the processor have the idea that this I2 is a branch target address, and it has also calculated the branch target. I'm sorry, I2 is a branch instruction, and after decoding it has also calculated the branch target address. That means processor know that it has to jump from I2 to I2. So what will happen? The execution, the decode of fetch 3, decode of instruction 3 that was just about to start will get just stopped, and at the same time I4 will be skipped, because already I2 the processor has idea that after I2 IK should execute. That means fetching of IK will start, and after fetching, if we consider there is no more dependency among any other preceding instructions, naturally after fetching, decoding of kth instruction, then execution of kth instruction, then write back of kth instruction will work, and in the same way for the next instruction also, right? Something like this, something like this. In this way it will continue. Sorry. Now see, if you compare the with the previous situation, here also after I2 IK should execute. So we can say that after fetching I2, the fetching of IK should occur, but again it is not happening. But how much time wasted over here? We have wasted only the one clock cycle, because instead of starting this fetching of IK in third clock cycle, we are able to start in fourth clock cycle, right? So that means in this particular case, in this case, that means what observation we have found, that if we can calculate the branch target address in the decode stage, then we can minimize the branch penalty by 1, right? Because here the branch penalty is equal to 1, right? Because we have wasted only one clock cycle. Why branch penalty become 1? For the same scenario, you see the scenario is same. We have a 4-stage pipeline also, but the difference is that in this case we calculated the branch target in execution stage, but here we calculated the branch target in the decode stage. So that means if we able to do it in decode stage, we can minimize the branch penalty only by 1. But this cannot be a solution, a permanent solution for this. The reason is that we can say that very high level of pipelining, then naturally the number of stages will be more than what we are considering over here. For example, we are considering only fetch, decode, execute and write back, but fetch can be of two type also. Like fetch can be considered as a two category. One is instruction fetch, another is data fetch. Okay, even execution can be of different type also, because execution can be followed by many other different type of execution. So you can segregate those different execution in other different stages. So as long your length of the pipeline, length of the stage will increase, then what will happen? Naturally the branch target, the branch penalty will increase. So that means only calculating the branch target address within the decode stage cannot be a permanent solution for this scenario. So we have to find out some alternatives over here, right? And that alternative actually what we call instruction queue and prefetching.